Hello, 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 my beloved soul. So here is a special blood moon, Beaver Moon, full moon, and Taurus lunar eclipse horoscope lunar eclipse reading. Hilarious. This is like the third time I'm trying to do this video for you guys. So love you so much. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Autumn, the Enlightened Daughter, also known as Magic Mama. And I'm here for all of you, plus the shits and the giggles, because the collective is going through it right now, and this is what it is, right? We just gotta kind of like laugh our way through these things, laugh so that we don't cry, right? Super intense energies. There's so much going on in the universe, especially in our world today, right? It's crazy. In eclipse season, we're coming to the end of eclipse season, right? Powerful, really transformative energies, right? We're in the middle of the sun sign of Scorpio, and Scorpio is about death and rebirth. But this beautiful lunar eclipse is in the sign of Taurus, and Taurus is an earth sign, right? Really grounded energies. Taurus is the sign of it's all about me. So we have Scorpio kind of breaking apart the egoic self, your fears, your karma, your drama, the shadow sides of you really coming up to the forefront so you can deal with it. And as you break away and all the light signs start shining through, right? And you birth this new version of yourself, Taurus comes in to help you really ground these energies. So, a lot of communication issue is coming up, obviously, with this freaking throat chakra stuff coming in. So, collective, just be mindful of how you speak. Now, Mars just went retrograde in the sign of Gemini, right? Gemini is the sign of twins, duality, right? So again, with that Scorpiotic energy of kind of like our light and shadow kind of coming to a head, our yin and our yang, our feminine, our masculine, right? All of that stuff really being balanced out. And of course, the eclipse, right? When the sun is opposite from the moon, the earth, and all this stuff. So just it's just like planetary alignments on crack, right? We got a lot going on. We still got like 5 signs in retrograde at this time. There, it's intense. And if you happen to be a Taurus, a Leo, a Scorpio, or an Aquarius, this is going to affect you even more, right? This is really highlighted at this time. You guys are just the zodiac signs that are just going to be feeling it, right? Especially if those your sun, your moon, or your rising signs. Um, Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus governs love, beauty, finances, right? So for Leos, this transit is really going to be amplifying their finances, right? Leo's kind of like showstopper. They're all about like, like their clothes and their money and stuff like that. So their career is really going to be like highlighted at this time. Whether that's being pushed to another kind of career sector because maybe you're a little too comfortable where you at, or really just really pushing you forward to kind of like get your money, make more money, but not in a way that is um harmful to another, right? It's like do as I will, but hurt none in return. So if you gotta kind of like shit on a person in order to get the things that you want, that's about to come to an end, right? Because here, don't forget, Scorpio's here. We just had that um, solar eclipse in Scorpio, right? And eclipse season is about our fate, right? It propels us to our fate. So any place where we're not living in our truth, where we're not standing our ground, where we're not living with integrity, all being shattered, right? Just consider this like a big freaking tower moment in your life. Now, if you're an Aquarius, the home life is really going to be amplified right now, right? And so, where are you living? How are you living? How are you dealing with the people in your household? Like, are you moving at this time, right? All really propelling you forward and really in a good way, right? Because we're being pushed forward, but it's like we're being pushed forward because these things are need to get done and they will get done. So, although this energy can be a little bit intense and kind of overwhelming, it's pushing us in the right directions. Scorpios, love, romance, intimacy really heightened at this time for you, right? So if you're in a karmic relationship, if your relationships are only really built based on like, chemistry and the physical and passion, like all of that's gonna come up because it's like, no, you need to look at things in a deeper way. You need to realize that like there's more to sex than just like penetration, right? For the most part, right? Like intimacy is being highlighted. Maybe you're gonna be looking at things a little bit differently, right? Maybe you've only been like doing like one night stands and kind of like not being committed in your relationships, right? That's going to be highlighted so that you can kind of like deal with people and look at them and be like, hey, I want something more. I want something deeper. I'm tired of playing the games. I'm tired of being Casanova, right? I'm tired of being for these streets, like however it plays out in your universe. And Taurus is, I love you, my beautiful Taurus. I'm my Venus is in Taurus. Um, all three are going to be amplified for you, right? And Taurus is really about one, they're the sign of it's all about me, but they're also about safety and security and comfort. So, love, beauty, money, all being amplified in the Taurus realm. Like, what are your relationships looking like, right? And how can you get rid of the like people that are no longer serving your highest and greatest good, right? Are you showing gratitude for the places that you live and the things that you have, and are you valuing, the luxury and your possessions? Like it's not just like about looking good externally, but really appreciating the fact that you have the ability to have nice things, right? Because Taurus tend to have nice things; they like to look good. Um, and finances, right? Like, what is your work life situation looking like, right? Are you just doing a job solely for the money, or are you doing it because it kind of like warms your heart and you feel like you're serving like a kind of divine purpose? So all of that being amplified really right during this time. And then in the midst of all this, we had Mars go retrograde in the sign of Gemini, right? And so that Mars retrograde energy kind of plays out like a Mercury retrograde energy, which means that technology may be a little wonky, right? Like I said, this is the third time that I'm recording this video. Not only do we have kind of like darker forces fucking with the technology in general, and you can tell that by all the like the bots and stuff that you'll see on like Instagram and Facebook, and things just not working correctly, and messages being going crazy, and viruses being sent to your computers, but we also have like travel that might be kind of delayed or deterred, right? So don't get discouraged during this time, right? Like if you need to travel and you like can't avoid it, give yourself extra time. Be mindful that like maybe your plane's gonna be delayed, maybe you'll be rerouted somewhere, maybe your trip might get delayed. Like just put it out there. Don't stress about it. Don't freak out about it. Don't overthink it. Just know like that might be happening in the background. Make a backup plan, right? And just it is what it is. And communication also being really highlighted during this transit. We want to make sure that we're communicating clearly with people. We want to make sure that we're being heard. And so you may have to explain yourself a couple of times in a couple of different ways, right? And it's gonna maybe try your patience from time to time. And you're going to have to just kind of like own that. You know what I mean? Understand that just like you might feel like you're being misunderstood, so will the other people out here, right? It's not just you, right? It's never just, oh, well, I'm the only one going through this and me. Like, no, like you're not understanding them, they're not understanding you. You guys are getting frustrated, arguments are starting. So this energy is very, very intense. We have zeroed down all the stuff that like has been playing out. So we got home, we got romance, intimate relationships, love, beauty, our finances. I'm sure you're like recognizing it if you're paying attention at all to what's going on in the world with the different like economic hits that are going on like all across the globe. Like people are having to deal with like financial constraints. We have this energy of like a recession kind of lingering in the background, and it's like coming up so you can kind of recognize like, hey, I create my own economy, right? And like I don't care what the market says, like I know that this is my universe and that there's more than enough, and that I'm a child in the universe and that I live in an abundant universe. And if it's not coming from this one like stream of income, right, Leos, right, like if it's not coming necessarily from my job, it doesn't mean that I can't get it. It just might mean that I'm going to get it somewhere else. Like maybe my investments are going to be lit, or maybe I'm going to come into an inheritance, right? There's all these other things going on. What is that? I don't know what bug that is. I can't acknowledge you or read your messages. I don't know what you are. So anxiety, security are being highlighted at this time. Aggression, communication issues, disputes, impatience, prejudice, racism, scattered thinking, accidents, mistakes, distractions, loss, disappointment, travel interruptions, technology breakdowns, challenging in how we're expressing ourselves, pessimism, um, what does it say? Low attention span. So all of that. Plus, I mean, so much more, but all of that's really being highlighted at this time. And the Scorpio energy, right? Scorpio is about death and rebirth, right? So Scorpio's coming in to break the mold, to shake things up, to be like, look at your dark side, look at the dark side of the moon, look at your trauma, look at your karma, look at your drama. Take stock of it. Like this is a part of who you are, right? We love to just focus on the light side of us, right? But the light wouldn't be nearly as bright if we didn't have our shadow. And so a lot of people are battling their demons right now, right? A lot of people are battling between their yin and their yang, their male and their masculine, their light and their dark. Like they're going through it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, up and down, up and down, up and down. But we're breaking apart all of the stuff that the egoic mind has kind of like cloaked us with to kind of keep us safe. And the beautiful part of that is that because we have that all being broken apart and being dissolved, right, under this beautiful Scorpio transit, is that with Taurus being here in the full moon, Taurus, because it's such an earth sign, it helps us to ground it in, right? And so it's like you're breaking apart all the shit that's not serving you so that your light is shining through. But before you go floating up into the ethers, Taurus comes in to ground your energies down so you got 2 feet on the ground, right? The deeper our roots go, the higher we can ascend. So beautiful blessings coming in with this transit, and depending on how you, where you're at on your path and how you choose to traverse these energies will depend on how they play out. A lot of patience is needed at this time, paying attention to detail, not embodying things that are being projected at you. I'm going to say that again. Do not embody the things that are being projected at you. Just because somebody says the thing is pointing a finger at you does not make it your truth, right? A lot of people are dealing with a lot of fears and worries and anxieties at this time. Be mindful of it, right? I have an Aquarius moon and Taurus and Venus, two of the four signs that are going to be so highly affected at this time, right? And so, me being aware of this, right? Awareness is a powerful tool. You know, I say this all the time. I I've been drawing more within myself, right? I'm getting quieter. People are kind of coming at me with their like comments and judgments, and I really don't say anything. I'm just like, oh, okay, I hear your opinion, like, and I just kind of like move on, right? It's just like, cool, like, let me not get defensive, let me not get like riled up. You know, Mars rules Scorpio as well as Aries, and I'm an Aries sun sign, right? And so this transit, I easily could flip. I easily could just spaz out. I have people that kind of come at me kind of crazy often, especially with the work that I do, and I have to be like, you know, because like this holy could get hood real quick. But you know, I try not to do these things. So anyway, a lot going on for you, collective. So much going on for you, and I'm absolutely here to support you. You know, I deal with a lot of different clients from a lot of different places in the world as an international psychic, and I'm so blessed and grateful for this opportunity. However, because God has all the jokes, a lot of the clients that have been coming to me lately have been bringing up a lot of the things that I've had to deal with over the years, right? And so I could be getting triggered by all of this, but instead I'm seeing how I've grown through all of these things. I'm seeing that like I had to really had to deal with those like shadows and those fears and those worries and those angst and that anxiety and betrayal and jealousy and low vibrational relationships and giving my power away and not standing in my truth and dimming down my light and all this shit in order to be the person that I am today, in order to continue to live this life, and in order to continue to help others, right? And so day after day after day, week after week, getting these energies and brought back into my awareness. And I'm like, wow, all right, I went through a lot, you know, because as I'm dealing and working with clients, whether it's through coaching or psychic readings or, you know, however they're healing, however they're coming into my existence, it's bringing up some parts of my past, some parts of the learning and the growth that I had to deal with, right? And so I've come a long way, right, as we all have, but it doesn't mean that I'm fully healed. I mean, if once we're done, you know, we're off to the next part of the universe, right? We're off to the next realm. So obviously, there's always work to be done. But having an awareness of it and being conscious about the work that you're doing is very transformative, right? Because that's when that's when you have your power. When you have an awareness of something, it's easier to fix it. It's those blind spots that fuck us up, right? And so the scorpionic energy with these eclipses and in this huge lunar eclipse, right? It's here to bring it all to the surface. It's like, yo, deal with it once and for all so you can move on, right? And it's not going to be everything, but it's definitely going to be highlighted in those areas. So, what are your relationships looking like, especially your intimate relationships, right? How are you feeling as far as your foundation, your stability, your home life, right? really highlighted at this time, like the people that you live with, the people that you deal with, your neighborhood, your housing situation, whatever that is. What's going on with you and your finances, right? Are you living in this state of mind of lack and scarcity, or are you realizing like no, like there's an abundance of money, and the more I give, the more I can receive, and you're kind of keeping the flow going, right? What is that looking like for you in the big picture? Are you able to kind of take a step back from things and have some perspective, right? It's like it's really, I say this all the time. It's like gain perspective, right? Like look at the big picture. Think of others. Why are you in this season right now? What are the lessons that you're supposed to be receiving right now? Never about judgment, never about criticism. It's always about self awareness, self realization, and self love. That is why we grow through the things that we're dealing with, right? So we're here to grow, evolve, ascend. Oh my gosh, guys, hold on, I gotta take this call. Okay, my beloved. Sorry about that. I had to take that call because these are the things, right? When the client calls, you can do what you got to do. Anyway, so I love you guys so much. So we've talked enough about these energies. Just understand there's a lot going on in the collective, right? A lot of truths that are being revealed because we have all this light coming onto the planet. And when the truth gets revealed, guess what? Those living a lie don't really like it, right? We're seeing all of that play out. In the media with some of our freaking got Kanye going on. We have that. So how funny is that, right? We have this Kanye energy going on right now in this eclipse season, whereas in the spring eclipse season we had like the Roe versus Wade energies going on, right? So there's just so much going on behind the scenes, right? That's gonna be brought into our awareness. And you know, World War III is a spiritual war. It's not going to be, country versus country, although we kind of keep getting that amplified in the news, but it's really a spiritual thing that's going on right now. Anyway, we're going to tap into a couple of different decks. The Gateway Oracle, obviously, because every time there's a big thing going on, we tap into the Gateway Oracle. Right behind this lunar eclipse is the 1111 portal, right? So I think I'm going to do a separate reading for that. So, Gateway Oracle, Sacred Destiny, Angels of Atlantis coming in hot and heavy. They want to start the reading for you guys. And then Earth Magic, because I always got something to say. So thank you, angels. Thank you, guys, for being here with me in the collective. What do we need to know? What do we need to see? For this beautiful, beautiful eclipse for the collective. What do we need to know? What do we need to see? Thank you, angels. Thank you, guys. Wow. So first of all, Archangel Zaphiel, ecstasy coming in, right? Look at that. Falling back, surrendering, trusting the universe, letting, just knowing that, like, things are changing for the highest and greatest good, right? It's like all this light is coming in and it can feel overwhelming, right? It can feel magnanimous at times, but it's good. I feel like once you guys really step into this and really receive these energies and just like flow with the universe, it's gonna be like this always reminds me of somebody who was kind of like passing out because they just won the lotto, right? So imagine that feeling, that sense of release, that freedom that's coming when you just realize that, like, within this very moment, within everything that's just happened, like, your world is about to change for the highest and greatest good, right? It's like you just won a freaking spiritual lotto. All this shit is being left out of your life so that you can make room for the blessings, right? You're moving into a new home, you're getting new furniture, you just got an increase of pay at your job, you just found the most loving relationship, you met your divine counterpart, right? Like life feels good, it's so overwhelming, right? And you're just falling back and you're falling into the arms of your angels and your ancestors and your guides, and you're just like, thank you, God, thank you, God, thank you, God, right? Like after all that's said and done, after going through all this hard work, after feeling like your life is falling apart, boom, the rebirth moment. And what does that bring you? That delicious ecstasy. I am here for it. Ooh. Underneath that, Archangel Metatron with mercy, right? So have some mercy, compassion, and understanding to everyone right now as they're going through this stuff. All right. Archangel Metatron coming in again with the divine intelligence. A lot of downloads coming in during this time, right? We're having this wisdom, knowledge, understanding being activated within us. Some of you are going to be really attracted to some of the ancient texts and ancient books. So if you're connecting with like Lemuria or ancient Atlantis or ancient Egypt, right? If you're getting these downloads and you're having a new awareness and understanding of like the Bible and the spiritual text that Yeshua was talking about and all the greats that came before us, right? Really connecting with the ascended masters at this time. Archangel Metatron was a human who, when he crossed over to the next realm, became an archangel, and he's in charge of the Akashic records. So this is also that, like, us tapping into the Akashic records and tapping into that inner knowledge of all of our lives so that we can use that information to make better decisions today, right? We're clearing the Akashic records big time right now, really, really big time. So just understand that, like, a lot of this healing and clearing that you're doing isn't just from this lifetime, but it's also from your past lives. It's also from your ancestors, right? We're just doing it at a deep cellular level, and it's really powerful. My baby Archangel Gabriel coming in with the energy of grace, right? May grace touch each and every one of your lives, your homes, your families, your business, your finances, your heart, right? Like, ask for God's grace in everything. When I tell you everything, everything. So many of you are so scared to make these bold prayers, like, pray and then ask for God to give it to you under grace. That or something better. I'm always asking, Lord, thank you for blessing my business. Thank you for covering it in grace. I hope that it makes $100,000 a year. That or something better, right? Like, just put it out there. Actually, I'm at like $175,000 a year right now. That or something better, right? Like, ask for God's grace in everything. May grace touch my health. May grace touch my relationship. May grace touch my children. May grace touch my home. May grace touch my hair. May grace touch this food. Like, ask for God's grace in everything. Unearned, unmerited favor by the divine. Tap into it. And that blue energy is the throat chakra energy, and Archangel Gabriel is in charge of that. So the way you're communicating, ask for grace in your communication so that you're clearly understood and that you're communicating from your higher self, right? And that you're communicating clearly and speaking to everyone with love and kindness and compassion. Absolutely. Archangel Sandalphon, I love it. Love coming in once again, right? Really being amplified at this time. And Archangel Sandalphon is the angel that takes our prayers up to heaven, right? It's also the angel that's in charge of music. So for some of you, make sure, like I said, make really bold prayers. Some of you are going to be hearing messages in music. Some of you are going to be writing and creating music, right? Whatever that might mean to you in a much deeper way. Also, with this message, I feel like some of you are writers, right? Authors, or you're about to be. So congratulations on releasing that book and having it be a freaking New York Times bestseller or a freaking Amazon bestseller. Either way, I'm here for it. Put a freaking book title on the bottom or send me one. I'll read it. I love it. I'm a freaking nerd. Archangel Raziel with faith. Yes, that's what you need to have at this time. Have some faith, right? Know that all things are working for your highest and greatest good. And although life might be kind of coming at you right now, you don't really know if you're coming or going, trust the process, right? That's what this is about. Trusting the process. Arms wide open, right? Surrendering. Trusting the universe. Knowing that if you fall back, you're falling into the arms of the freaking divine. It's lit. It's lit. And Archangel Jophiel coming with forgiveness. Yes. Forgiveness is a healing balm, right? This isn't about giving a pass to the things that have occurred in your life. No, this is about saying, you know what? I don't want this poison in my life anymore. I don't want this pain in my life anymore, right? Like, I forgive you, and not because what you did was okay, but because I'm not living that lie anymore, right? Like, when we hold on to anger and resentment and bitterness, it's like putting poison within our own body and expecting somebody else to die. No. Forgiveness is a healing balm for you, to you, right? So give forgiveness, accept forgiveness from everyone, even people that will never ask for it, right? Offer forgiveness to everyone, even people that are no longer here to to give it to, right? Be open to forgiveness. Forgive yourself for the things that you accepted, you allowed, you said, you done, right? That is what this energy is about. Thank you, angels. Thank you, guys, for these powerful messages coming into the beautiful collective. What else do you got for this lunar eclipse? Total eclipse of the sun. I just heard that little Shop of Horrors freaking song. Bottom of the deck, relaxation. Look at that moon energy. And it's a red moon that we got going on right now, right? So fall back, rest, relax, hydrate, get some sleep, pick up a book, right? My nerd energy. I plan on laying back and just reading my book. I'm reading the Emerald Tablets right now by Thoth, and I love it. I love it. There's just so much in it, so much juiciness. Again, with the ancient texts. Community. Look at this. Butterflies are what? Indicative of transformation. That means everybody, the whole community is transforming right now. And again, with this rainbow energy coming in, like I said, we have a lot of light codes coming in from the universe, right? From the Sirius sun. So Understand that you're changing, you're transforming. In order for a butterfly to be what a butterfly is, it goes from the caterpillar into the chrysalis and completely dissolves, completely comes undone in order to go into the next level. Scorpionic energy, right? The caterpillar stage of your life is now coming to an end. That must die. It must dissolve, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, in order for you to birth the new you, which is this butterfly. And I just, mm. I'm just loving the deliciousness of these messages. Thank you, angels. Thank you, guides. Focus. Look how this animal is looking up, right? So focus on the big picture. Focus on something greater than yourself. Focus on a higher perspective, right? Keep your eyes on the prize during this time. Don't get deterred by the fact that you might be in the winter of this process, right? Things might seem a little cold and daunting. Don't let that deter you. You just keep going, keep going, keep going. And stay flexible and adaptable during these changes. Like I said, people, you need to be very patient during this time, right? And be mindful of the details. So one, focus, right? We want to be really mindful of the details, but go with the flow. 9 times out of 10, when we plan something out, it doesn't go accordingly, right? What do they say? If you want to make God laugh, make a plan, right? It's like, yeah, you might have it. Well, I'm going to do this, 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 and this. It's not going to necessarily work out that way. And that's okay, right? Because sometimes what we want isn't always what's best for us. We don't always have our best interest at heart, right? Sometimes it's the egoic mind that's making these plans, but the soul has a whole nother plan for us. And it's always greater. It's always better than we could ever freaking imagine. We're going forward, right? You're going from the path. You're leaving this dark, shadowy realm and you're walking ahead towards the light, right? So don't be afraid to just keep going, even when it gets dark, even when it gets cold, even when it seems like, it's overwhelming. Just keep going because the sun will eventually come out again. And the truth shall set you free. I love the fact that it's just like this beautiful wind activation coming in because when I went to start this reading and I was in meditation, I just saw 11:11. The wind was whirling around. I'm like, there's leaves blowing everywhere. It felt so good. It looked so good. It smelled so good. And that's what's really being activated right now throughout the entire collective, right? The truth is coming out for everyone in the collective to just kind of free us. And the wind is coming through to just blow away all the bullshit. The things that are no longer serving you, the lies, the deceit, the fears are all being blown away so that you can see clearly, so that you can live in your truth. Amazing. Looking deeper, right? Deep within me is a majestic radiance. Yes, that's why you're going through all of this. That's why we're all going through all of this, right? To let the jewels that are within our souls out, right? We're going deep within and realizing that we are the treasure, right? And that's everything that we're looking for is lying within us. That's a powerful, powerful message. Bottom of the deck, breaking barriers. I'm expanding beyond limitations into joy and freedom. I'm expanding, right? You're letting yourself birth something new. We keep birthing something new. And with that beautiful Taurus energy, guess what? It gets to be grounded in our center. So the light is shining, my beloveds. The light is shining. It's not always going to be dark. Renewing your life. Radiant vitality is filling my life. Get rid of the stuff that's no longer serving you. Point blank and simple. Right? If it's not serving your highest and greatest good, if it's not going to put you on your highest and greatest timeline, if it doesn't bring joy to your life, it doesn't bring stability into your life, it doesn't bring abundance into your life, that shit's got to go. Kick rocks. Put it in a box and say, thank you, bye-bye. Thank you, bye-bye. Release it with all love and gratitude. Opening to love. My heart is open. Allow your heart to be open, to be joyous, to be vibrant, to feel all the feels, right? Allow yourself to be a being of unconditional love, right? We are all flesh and blood embodiments of love. So be that, receive that, and be that. Give and receive that beautiful, beautiful energy of love. Let your heart chakra be cracked wide open. Stepping into stillness. My power is born in the majesty of silence. We already saw that with relaxation card, right? Sometimes you just got to get quiet and still, especially during this transit, especially with all these communication issues that are going on. Listen more than you speak. 2 ears, 1 mouth, right? Connect to your higher self. The soul is a whisper. It's never a shout. The ego will shout loud and clear. The soul is going to whisper to you, like the beautiful wind is whispering to us right now. So be quiet and listen. Listen to your ancestors on the wind, right? Mending bridges. I heal rifts. I'm a mender. A lot of that happening, especially in the issues of relationships, issues in the areas of relationships. Right now in your relationships, as people are going through this aggressive, assertive kind of energy, you're either going to have these fights that break you apart once and for all, and it's kind of like that's it. It's like the nail in the freaking coffin type of thing, or you're gonna transmute this energy so dope that you guys are gonna become freaking unbreakable, unstoppable. Right? A lot of power couples are gonna be activated during this time. Do you believe in magic? My favorite card. True magic is abounding in my life. Always. Those that don't believe in magic will never receive it. I hope that you're allowing magic to flow into your life. Your world is going to look a little differently now, but that's a dope thing. And look, making a difference. My inner light shines far and wide. You make a difference. You may not be everything to everybody, but you don't have to be. And even if you just touch one life with one message, you've done your task. If only one other person sees this message that I'm recording right now, I did what I was supposed to do. Because that one person is going to touch another life. And on and on and on it goes, right? Thank you, Gaia. Wow, that was cool. Gaia coming in right away. What messages do you have for the collective for this beautiful lunar eclipse? All right, that one went back in. Ocean, ebb and flow. Like I said, guys, go with the flow of things. Water is also indicative of our emotions, right? And so really tap into your emotions right now, especially we're in Scorpio season, right? Still waters run deep. This water isn't still, it's moving, it's flowing. So stay with the flow of the universe, right? Allow yourself to be led. It's going to gift you in so many different ways. And why did I put that there? This is the first card that popped out. New moon promise. As we're moving from this beautiful full moon to the next new moon, right? Which is in what? We just had the full moon in Scorpio. I mean, we had the new moon in Scorpio. So what's after Scorpio? Sagittarius. So the next new moon should be in Sagittarius, right? Some promises are going to be fulfilled, right? Some dreams are going to be coming true. You guys are going to be coming to the next level of yourselves. And although Mars is retrograde and it's slowing things down, retrogrades are a very receptive energy, right? That allows us to receive. So many of the manifestations that you've already put out into the universe, right? Those seeds that you planted long ago are gonna start to you're gonna start seeing manifest now in this new energy. So we're clearing out this heaviness with the freaking eclipse energy. Although there's like months for it, the intensity of it, like this kind of like overwhelming fight energy, lasts for about 4 days on either side, right? And that leads us right into the freaking 1111 portal. So between this eclipse energy going into the 1111 portal and heading towards the next new moon, life is going to be very different for you. Life is going to be very different, very transformative, and beautiful promises, gifts, manifestations are going to be coming into your world. Green man synergy. Look at all the things that are being birthed, right? Because that's this energy of spring, like things flourishing, lushness, vegetation, new life, new life, new life. So you're being synchronized to all the new life, to the beautiful blessings, to the magic in your world, right? Oh, I love that. And then we got clouds shape shifting, right? Like I said, you're gonna be a new version of you. Most of you won't even recognize yourselves after this season, right? Especially after we end this year and going into next year when Mars finally goes direct. You're going to be a whole different person. It's gonna be night and day, but it's a dope thing. Why? Because you're jumping timelines. You're moving towards the greatest and best version of yourself. These are gifts that are being given to you by the divine, and it's gonna strengthen you, right? You're going to see just how strong you are, how resilient you are, how powerful you are during this transit. So freaking step all the way into it. Own it. Be that. Love it. Caress it, right? You're going to go through heartache. You're going to go through pain. You're going to go through some loss. But it's not a big deal. Anything that's taken from us, we always get something back equal or better. So it's like, oh my gosh, like, what couldn't I find the other day? I don't know. I couldn't find something the other day, and I was like, I'm not even gonna stress about it because if it's not, it's like when you lose money. You're outside, you lose money. You're like, damn, I lost money. Yeah, but if you lost it, that means somebody needed it. Whenever I lose money outside, it's like, damn, all right, somebody needed it because somebody needed to find it. And cool, if I lost it there, I'm gonna get it back in another way. You lose $10, you find 100, right? You lose $5, you find 50. Or next thing you know, somebody sends you money, or you get a freaking cash app, or you get a freaking refund somewhere, or you walk into a store and it's like $50 off whatever you needed. You know what I'm saying? So don't stress it. Don't stress this little bullshit life. You know what I'm saying? Money comes and goes, but guess what? We live in an abundant universe. You don't got to worry about that because you're a child of the divine, and everything you need will always be added onto you. God will take care of the sparrows in the freaking field. What do you think He's gonna do for His daughters and His sons? Okay. Anyway. I love you. I love you. I love you. I hope you have an amazing week. I hope you join me again for the rest of the week for Divine Masculine Mondays and Twin Flame Tuesdays and Wolf Wednesdays and Divine Feminine Fridays because it's motherfucking lit over here, okay? And definitely join me for my weekly check-in. I go live every Thursday at 12 noon Eastern Time on Instagram and Facebook at The Enlightened Daughter. So join me there, book a reading, like, share, subscribe, all the things. I love you guys so much. I love you. God loves you. Angels surround you. And I will see you soon later.